And it's another night. More thunderstorms showing up on the radar to the west, and it's the Joe and Joe weather show with, you guessed it, Joe and Joe. It's convenient that it works out that way. Fios 1 News Long Island and Fios 1 News New Jersey for me.
And Fios 1 News Lower Hudson Valley for yours truly on a stormy afternoon and probably a semi-stormy night tonight, Joe. We're figuring on not one but two squall lines or two lines of showers and embedded thunderstorms. The first one really did a number on a lot of areas with quite a bit of rain and also some power outages reported. Line number 2, maybe not as potent as line number 1, thankfully. That should be by here, at least through the Hudson Valley, by midnight. And probably a little after midnight, maybe in Long Island and New Jersey. But whatever the case, after this line goes through, we've got some great weather for the rest of the week.
Yes, we do. So you know what? We can show them that line. And in fact, here's the loop from the Weather Service. I'm going to try to make this just a little bit bigger, so just bear with me here. There we go.
And I have to admit,
there.
one of our weather models, the HRRR, this must come as a surprise to the HRRR.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I did a live stream earlier today, and one of the things I talked about was the fact that when you looked at all the short-range models, they all had different outcomes of how this was all going to play. And the odd thing was that, at least from a standpoint of when the storms were starting out in Pennsylvania late this morning, all three models had the picture wrong. They just did. Right. The NAM already had it raining to western Long Island by noontime, which wasn't the case. I think the HRRR, you could barely find the showers and storms that were forming in Pennsylvania. The NAM 3 was somewhere in the middle. But the first line from overnight on the radar, that's already to the east and done. There's some storms that are firing up again in the eastern half of Connecticut. But then you got the second line. This really marks the cold front. And there are a couple of stronger cells in there. It doesn't look as well. I don't want to say for sure. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look quite as robust as the line at its peak late this afternoon. But this is going to swing on through over the next couple of hours across New Jersey and through the Hudson Valley and eventually into Connecticut and Long Island. So there's a little bit more work to do before we finally clear things out. It will be during the early morning hours that this should all be gone, in my view.
This second line, this is the actual cold front, I would
Yes, I believe it is. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to, let's go down, let's get a slightly different perspective of this of this line. So we'll pull up the Philadelphia, well, the radar centered in Fort Dix in New Jersey. So you can see that line a bit better here. And you know, it runs up into northwest Connecticut. Looks like it's getting ready to move as of 8:52 p.m. Eastern Time. We're seeing it move into Dutchess Putnam County, Orange County, and back up into northwest New Jersey, continuing south and west from there. And that whole area seems to be dropping southeastward. This one's going to probably hold together as it moves on through, I think.
Well, we're already past sundown, so the diurnal cooling effect doesn't seem to be putting much of a dent at the moment in this line. In fact, if anything, over the last hour or so, it seems to have been getting a bit stronger. Is this the HRRR?
Well, yeah, and I just want to make the point too, Joe. I mean, this is the HRRR at 9 o'clock. This is what it's supposed to look like. Yeah. It doesn't even have that whole. It doesn't even show that whole line, so we already know it's wrong.
Right.
So that kind of makes it useless. So we won't even take a look at where it's going. And just for laughs, I want to pull the NAM 3 up because the NAM 3 actually did a pretty good job showing the robustness. I mean, the NAM 3. I mean, you can barely find the second line on the NAM 3.
Right.
And it disappears. So we know that's wrong.
Right.
So let's look at the NAM 12. Yep, NAM 12. You can barely find it. So that's wrong.
Right.
So let me see. We run out of short range models. We could look at the WRF. You know what? Let's forget it. Forget. The bottom line is what you see on the radar is what's actually happening. So
you see,
and this is how it's supposed to be.
This is a prime example of why when people say, well, why don't you just use the computer? I mean, you guys will be out of business soon. All we have to do is just use our computer.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
And that ain't happening because, there's a certain amount of mixture between man and machine, and those who were tuned in to us on our FiOS weathercast earlier on, we were talking about a second line that partially was based upon some computer information, but it was also partially based on empiricism.
Right. By the way, no warnings up anywhere at this moment.
Yeah,
with that line.
That's kind of amazing. Well, they're all watching the All-Star game right now.
Yes. Nice.
But we were alluding to this. It's coming to fruition, and those of you who were with us earlier, at least you're not going to be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder between now and, let's say, midnight tonight, because you'll know that's the second line. And it's also an indication that the cold front is moving in through and will bring us a lovely stretch of weather, taking us right on through the end of the week.
Okay, so now let's go through what we're going to expect over the next 5 days. The next 3 days look fine. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I've been kind of describing it as reasonable temperatures, reasonable humidity for this time of year. Temperatures tomorrow will be a bit on the warm side, but the humidity will be down. The dew points will be in the 50s, so it'll feel okay.
Let me quickly point out though,
Sure.
on Thursday, for White Plains and for Poughkeepsie and for Montgomery up in the Hudson Valley, dew points are projected to be in the 40s again.
Yeah, so it's another good shot of dry air. We'll probably hold on to that dry air through Friday.
Right.
And then the issue for the weekend, and this is, I'm just showing the upper air with the jet stream. We've been talking about this next trough that's going to drop down into the Ohio Valley, and this is a pretty interesting setup here because it opens up a southerly flow along the East Coast, which brings up moisture, and I think it's going to open the door for opportunities for rain or thunderstorms, maybe as early as Saturday night, and then again, maybe again late Sunday, and into a good chunk of next week, because this upper trough is not going to really get out of the way. It's just going to sit there to our west and weaken, so it's going to keep that moist southerly flow. The only thing I want to be careful about is if something, if any kind of disturbed weather decides to develop east of the Bahamas with a pattern like this,
right.
That moisture would have will have an opportunity to shoot up the coast. But we're not really concerned about that because there's no indication that anything is going to really be there.
Now, the European seems to be suggesting that subtropical high offshore is going to flex its muscles a bit and actually help to serve as kind of a block. At the same time, that digger, if I may use that term,
right.
that storm, upper-level storm in the Ohio Valley digs to such a degree so that what you have, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, it's Tuesday now, and I know a lot of people in the summertime, they look forward to a weekend forecast, but what the European is suggesting is that we stay dry right through the entire weekend because that cutoff low stays off to our south and west and brings its moisture down there.
And the surface wave that all the models develop, the European ejects that basically east-northeast, so
right.
we get stuck in a kind of a sweet spot for a while. It may
right.
not be, it may not be clear. We'll probably have a lot of clouds,
right.
but in terms of the rain, it's got rain to the east and rain to the west, and it keeps it out of here for a good chunk of the weekend. The GFS is insistent on develops this low on a warm front and brings it right up. Right. Just off of Long Island. If this works out, I mentioned this to you yesterday. Was it yesterday? It probably was. I don't remember.
It was a Monday.
It was Monday.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, if this frontal wave that develops and moves up, it might get a little breezy along the coast. That's not a half bad gradient that develops there for a while. And there'll be a decent shot of rain here, probably late Saturday into early Sunday. And then it lifts up, and then you start to deal with the system in the west, and this is where you got this sort of, I guess you want to call it maybe like a conveyor belt with the gear spinning around, and you'll probably see waves of showers develop to the south, and whether those showers, how far north do they get, how far east are they going to be, or are they going to line up from the coast westward, and then the coast winds up being dry. But it does look like, at least from a standpoint of the weekend, that we're going to be getting into this southerly flow. And we'll probably have the chance for some showers or downpours every day next week until that trough gets out of the way.
And you were right in the sense that with that southerly airflow, Whereas on Thursday, for example, it'll be as dry as it ever really gets for the month of July. We'll see a noticeable increase in the humidity beginning sometime later Friday, and we'll be in a rich southerly tropical airflow. We could see dew points, even if we don't get a drop of rain Saturday.
It's going to get humid.
It'll be like up near 70 with the dew points.
Oh yeah, no question.
And that also leads to the fact that if we did get any precipitation over the weekend, and especially so early next week with those kind of dew points, what we call the precipitable water values are going to be such that one single shower could dump quite a bit of rain in a short interval of time. So we may be looking at some soaking rains here from time to time and place to place, possibly over the weekend, most certainly, I think, early next week.
Just want to show the satellite loop of the entire Atlantic, of the tropical Atlantic. Still seeing, this African dust that's coming off and moving westward. There doesn't, unlike a few days ago, it looks like the upper lows in the Atlantic are not as well defined as they were. So from the standpoint of those kind of upper lows producing unfavorable conditions in the Atlantic, that seems to be, in terms of strong upper level winds, that may be diminishing over the next week or so. But in terms of specific systems, Joe, I don't see anything here that looks problematic at this point.
And we're up to what? The sea storm?
We're through the sea.
We're through the sea.
We had Chris, so now the next
Chris,
one is
right.
So the next one is D.
That would be a female name.
Female. I don't remember what it is.
Daphne.
No. I'm thinking no.
Daisy.
No. We can look it up.
We can let somebody out there, one of our viewers probably will come up with the name.
Well, you know what? I have it here, so I might as well just take a look. Where is that name thing? Cyclone names. Debbie.
Debbie, okay.
With ending in a Y,
okay,
as opposed to an IE. All right, let's join everybody on the board. Was there some rotation on the storms on the radar today? Saw it on Staten Island. Alicia, Denise, Ledestro. Alicia, I've seen a few pictures that were posted. I actually posted it on my Facebook page. There were a few shots of what looked like a funnel cloud in New York Harbor, but it depends on where the shot was taken, because on one side, if you take it from one angle, it looks like a funnel cloud. If you took it from another angle, it doesn't. So I haven't seen anybody produce a video that shows actual rotation. It looks like a funnel cloud to me. Certainly with the robustness of the thunderstorms, I think it's quite possible.
Well, with our intern Matthew earlier today, and also with Addison Green, we were looking, and we were looking for. I said, "Where's the hook echo? Where's the signature?" And there really didn't appear to be that on any of the radars that we were looking at. So it might have been just maybe a piece of fractus or scud.
Yeah, from the shelf cloud, maybe. Yeah, that's quite possible. I couldn't see. I also didn't see anything in terms of rotation.
And the fact is also, it was plainly evident, but the guys over at the National Weather Service office, forecast office, never did issue any kind of a tornado warning or any kind of special statement indicative of that.
Right, and that's not something that they're likely to miss either.
Right.
There wasn't even any severe thunderstorm warnings that were issued nearby. There were some in the Hudson Valley, up in Dutchess County.
There was a tornado warning up in Connecticut, right?
Windham, Connecticut, and northeastern Connecticut, yes. And there was one flash flood warning for northeastern Ocean County, where they got hammered with several inches of rain. But that was really it. John Delfino wants to know if the wetter than normal pattern we're heading into will last through the end of the summer. At least looks like it's going to carry us through pretty much to the end of the month. You look at the long, you've seen the long range on what the climate people have done.
The indications are that through the rest of July, we're going to be looking at a wetter than normal pattern, at least here along the eastern seaboard. Although the ultra long range, and we'll know better on Friday, because every Friday they come out with this experimental 3 to 4 week prog. The 3 to 4 week prog, the last one that came out on Friday, indicates probably near normal. In fact, perhaps even a bit below normal, because we're going to be near a zone supposedly by then, early August, seeing less than normal precipitation. So we'll see. But I think for the next couple of weeks, though, we'll definitely be in this wetter than normal, showery than normal pattern, and especially early next week. As I said a few moments ago, we could be looking at some occasional downpours here and there.
Paul Chicky asked the most important question tonight because it's about clothes. Yeah, I guess we have same shirts on tonight, and we also have similar ties.
This is my rain tie, though.
Oh, well, this is my blue tie.
My blue tie.
Okay, which really has no weather connection whatsoever, other than it's a nice looking tie.
I thought I would. I went to the Blightsdale Children's Hospital in Valhalla and talked to the kids today, and I figured I would wear the rain tie because I did emphasize to them when I went, it was hot as blazes, exceedingly humid. The sun was out, and I told all the kids, I said how nice it's going to be tomorrow, but I said in between those two times we're going to see some nasty weather. And no sooner did I leave and got in the car, but the first raindrops started plopping down on my windshield. So I said I'm wearing my rain tie. Maybe they think it's a magic tie because it rained or whatever. So
Craig Fatteruso is heading to Lake George Sunday through next Wednesday. How are you going to? You're going to get the sweat pattern may go all the way up into upstate New York, so just bear that in mind. And
take a ride on the Mini Ha-Ha for me.
Yeah, up at the lake. Stop by at Saratoga, put down a few bets. The Saratoga opening day is Friday, and at least for opening day, the weather looks very nice up at the spa, and Saturday looks okay too. We'll probably start to see weather conditions deteriorating there to some degree. On Sunday, my buddy John Sears just jumped on. You should not have any rain going on at the moment where you are, but you might still have one more slight round to deal with in a couple of hours over Long Island when that next line comes through. Yep. All right, we came on early, which means we get to go early. You and I both have some things to do, so you can check us out tonight. Joe will be taking a look at everything that you need to know weather-wise for FiOS 1 News Hudson Valley.
Before I get into that, Kelly wants to know about any Long Island weather talks that you might be giving at the library.
My next one, Kelly, is August 20th at the Cioffi Library on Holbrook Road on Long Island, exit 61 on the LIE. So I will be there at the Cioffi Library in Holbrook on August 20th, and then I do have one coming up in October. I think it's October 17th in Springfield, New Jersey. It'll be my first New Jersey appearance. So I'll have more on both of those coming up, and if you are interested in getting either of us at your local library, let them know and let them contact us, and we'll see if we can square away a date.
By October, you'll be talking. We'll
be transitioning over.
The hurricane season will be beyond, and you'll be talking about the winter weather.
Right. The one in August will probably be talking, big time about the hurricane season as we go into the peak.
All right.
Okay, so you're on Hudson Valley,
Lower Hudson Valley, for tonight, and tomorrow we'll kick off with Jeff Manson and Chief Meteorologist Brian Fitzgerald in the morning,
and we've got Brittany Borer and Addison Green coming on at midday. Joel and I will be back tomorrow evening, and of course I will be on tonight, FiOS 1 News Long Island and FiOS 1 News New Jersey.
You realize we have what one of my professors used to refer to in this type of weather pattern coming up, easy money weather. The next 3 days are just going to be like...
Oh, yes. Okay, yes, that part. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely... I get it now.
Yeah. All right.
Never seems easy, but yeah, it is. The next three we're on cruise control.
Yep.
All right. Have a great evening. Be safe, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.